Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the video. This is a little bit echoey in here because this video is me sorting out my waterbed. So if you follow along on the podcast Heads and Dovetails, you'll know that I usually sit in front of this beautiful piece of rosewood here, and this being a sort of headboard, but I'll get onto that another time. So what's happened is we've replaced our waterbed. We had a leak and it was decided, I've made the choice to just take the mattress out, get a new mattress. We'd already had 2 leaks, one last year and one the year before. So it's time to replace the mattress. In amongst that, I looked at efficiencies and I decided that I was going to look into insulating the water mat, the bed itself. So I'm going to put up a couple of stills here showing what I've done. I found somebody in Australia who uses his waterbeds as part of his heating system. So by having a number of waterbeds in the house, they're warmed with a heater, as you probably know, and the heat that comes off that helps save heating the rooms. So I went through a load of things and looked into it as it was a hard side bed, and it comes mainly in 3 sections. You've got like a base that goes down that takes all the weight, that lifts it all off the floor. That's a framework. And then there's the bed base itself, and then there's a frame around there. It's a hard side bed. Let me show you. So it's a hard side bed. It's pine. It's there you go. You can see the hard side there. It's pine, and it runs all the way around, and it's about 8.5 inches tall, which is good off here. This baseboard is in 2 halves. Comes in 2 pieces, and it generally has a gap in there if you're filling the rebates over there and at the end I'm sitting at now. Once all of that was done and we're then resetting the mattress, I then, before I bought a new mattress, I started looking into the efficiencies. So the heater we've got is 35 years old, but it works great and it's no problem. And we don't see because it's very, very slow up and down, on, off through the day. We're used to it being on the electric bill. It doesn't make, and I found out it's between £40 and £45 a year to run the waterbed. If you consider that, and as part of your heating, £40 to £45 to have a heated bed, like a heated blanket, but it's a waterbed, which is much better than a heated blanket because it's permanently on, and you set the temperature to a comfortable temperature. In the winter you might turn it up a degree, in the summer you might turn it down a degree, and that's about all it is. It's not much. We had got a king size, which was 6'6" long by 6 foot wide. I've now cut it down to 5.5 foot wide because the mattress is cheaper and the liner's cheaper. We've had a new liner as well. So by going from a king to a double, I'm saving about 8% of the water temperature heating, and I'm saving on purchasing as well. I've saved about £40 by cutting the bed down. So I've cut the bed down 6 inches off the foot end and the top end to narrow the bed by 6 inches, and the baseboard, cut it down by 6 inches to narrow that. That saves me about 8 to 10%, which is about £4.50. So that brings the running cost down to £40 for a year. We've got a new heater, which is much more efficient. They say they run for about £25 a year. So that's another efficiency I've done. And then the third efficiency is the insulation. And as you can see here, I've gone a bit mad with the insulation. This is foil backed double bubble insulation with aluminium both sides. That has been taped all the way around each plank of wood around the bed, and by doing that it's protecting, it's keeping the mattress from there will be a liner here, but it's keeping the that warm, so the outside of the plank of the wood isn't. It is chilly now, I can feel it, it's cold, but by having that there, that will permanently be warm one side. It's creating a barrier, so that's what we've got there. But then we've put tape over the screws, and I've cut out around these brackets, which means it's less of a step around the outside. These things normally don't do anything with, but we've put some tape over the screws, and I've made sure that the screws haven't got a sharp edge on them. In the corners, these corners are to allow you to bring your wires through. And in the corners, I've just done this little flap of insulation. Once the mattress is there, that's going to help a bit more as well. So I've done quite a lot. We've done a lot to try and improve the efficiency. I think I'm down now to about 25, maybe £28 a year. Nearly said a month. A year. £28 a year. Or 25. So that's really good. The dog's trying to get into the bed. You can't get in, there's no mattress. Oh, the dog's in shock. Where am I? So yeah, I thought I'd show you this part where we're up to. The next bit I've got to do is I'm just going to put some tape over this joint and put something over there. You don't have to. You don't have to. The liner bridges it. But also, the mattress is quite thick. It takes it up. So there are no sharp edges on that. Those edges have been here for 30 years since we've had the bed. So there's no danger of it actually cutting into the mattress. And actually, where the waterbed did burst, have a slight hole, water leak, was closer to I don't think it was impacted by the framework at all. It was on the seams where it's welded together, because it's heat welded, the vinyl it's heat welded. So that's the weakness, the seams. That's about it. Next step, we're going to put the liner in. No, cover that joint and then we'll put the liner in and I'll show you then. What I've done here is I've got some insulation and I've just filled the gap between the two boards with some foam insulation. Completed that and then put tape over it, a couple of strips of masking tape and then some bits of foam covering the brackets and a bit of masking tape to hold there. It doesn't have to do much because once the water's in the mattress, these things don't get moved at all for years, so it just sits there. Those corners are working well and it's looking pretty good. That's looking the headboard end, brackets all covered. So this is the new heater and all the controls and everything goes through that hole there, and then that should fit through there as well, which it does, so that's good. We can pull that through there. That's the first heater. On this we're actually going to put two heaters. We're going to put our old heater as well. And the idea of having the old heater and the new one is there's a backup. So I bought that off eBay for £10 because somebody was moving house and they were stripping the bed down and they just wanted rid of it. So I'll have two heaters. Let me get the other one. But anyhow, yes, they go through the corners like that. So this one is our original one. That's the new one. The idea is by having two, we've got a spare. But that's old and supposed to be less efficient nowadays. So we'll use them both to warm it up. Once it's reached temperature, we'll go to the new one, which is a carbon one, which is supposed to be a fraction of the cost to run. This is why I'm trying to get it down to about £20 a year to run. So that one will be on. This one will be unplugged. If ever anything goes wrong with that, we've got a backup and we haven't got to let all the water out and get underneath the mattress. So that's the plan. That's the liner ready to put over it once I've got these again through this little blooming hole here. So yes, we've got twice as many cables, but let's pull that through. So that's not fitting through the corner properly. So what I've done is I've undone that screw there and these here, so we can lift the bed frame and the base stays there. There you go, drops through. So there you go, everything's in place now. So let's have a look at it. Everything's in place, coming up against the hard side. So now we can put that one there, put that there. There's our bit of insulation over the corner, like that. It's not a lot, but it's enough. That goes there. Let's get these screws put back in, and then we can start putting the liner down.
Oh, Mum, I think he's filming. Oh no. Do you have to be quiet?
No, because you lot just fucking talking. Yeah. So.
I think you could cut it down 5 and not 6. To have made allowances for the mattress to fit flatter.
Okay, thanks for that.
Sorry.
Thought I'd leave that bit in for the kids because they we wind each other up. Anyhow, this bit, yeah, I've got that liner all done. That's all in and taped up, as you can see. It's just taped over onto the edges to hold it in place. This is the waterbed now, and we've got a pipe going in there from the sink in the bathroom, slowly feeding the pipe. Ignore the fact that it looks dirty, it's fine, because the water has the waterbed has conditioner put in, so this pipe is all clean. It's just dirty on the outside. But anyhow, what we're doing is we're putting water in the bed and getting it just the first inch or so, half inch or so, and then making sure that there's no creases in the bed, in the bottom of the mattress. And for this part, you really need to read that instruction manual just to make sure you follow every detail. A crease in the bottom of the mattress just means the mattress will wear out quicker. Excuse me. So you've got to make sure the underside, and there is a technique for doing that. So follow the instructions in your mattress. What I do then is, because the mattress is now filling with water, we can take these bits of tape off the liner, because the liner's going to stay put. It's not going to fold down or fall down anywhere now. So yeah, step in the right direction and the water goes in, and the water takes a while to fill. This was fed through a tap, through the water pressure from the tap, and I think it took an hour and a bit. I'm going to leave this bit running for a while. It does take time, and you have to be aware that you've got to manage that mattress all the time while the mattress is being filled with water. Check it's sitting evenly from one side to the other, central from one side to the other, or top to the bottom. All of that is important, because once this is full of water, there's no going back. You can't move this. So again, follow the manufacturer's instructions. It'll tell you at a certain height, depth of water, you can put the heater on. And I've just covered the bed now with a couple of sheets, older sheets that came off the bed the other day, before washing them, just to keep some of the heat in. This is the heater. This is the old heater, but this is going to help warm it up. And I'm just going to set this to where it used to be set. That way then it can start warming the bed up. And we've got an indicator light here every time it comes on, because it flicks on and off maybe once a minute or once every 50 seconds or so, and it just powers for a couple of seconds. It's less than a light bulb. So here are the two heaters, both on full blast. The instructions tell you this will take about 48 hours to get up to temperature from cold. And this was cold. This was just cold water, straight out the cold water tap. And we did it in 16 hours. It was done in 16 hours. And I tell you what, just that extra speed is worth having a spare heater inside. And if a heater ever dies, you just plug in the other one, and that's it. It's ready to go. I will show you some more details on this now. So that was back in May the 10th, something like that this year. It's now the end of June, and we're going through a heat wave, and it's beautiful out here. The weather is absolutely gorgeous. So what have I been doing? Well, I've been emptying this tree of ivy. I'll try and find some pictures and put them up here for you. That's been a monstrous job, getting rid of the ivy from that tree. And it's hard for me to just get over just how much ivy there was on that tree. Unbelievable. Anyhow, once I'd got the bed all warming up, I did myself a piece of paper like this, put in the time and date, put the date, the time, and what the temperature was. And I kept checking, and it isn't this piece of paper, it was 2 other pieces of paper, but I kept an eye on the temperature to make sure that the temperature was going up and not going up too high, and it did actually go up too high. So I had to then start all the turning down, and it does hold its heat, and that's, in a way, that's the problem. And I suppose another problem was having the second heater, turning that off at the right time. I think I did all right. For the first time I've done it, it was okay. Took a while to get the temperature exactly right, but now, as I mentioned, the heat wave, now I've dropped the temperature 2 degrees. So don't forget, the bed's insulated, so it keeps itself warm, and it only has to drop a fraction of a degree, a fraction of a tenth of a degree, and it clicks back on for a little bit. And it's not on for long. As I say, it's like having a light bulb on, and that's how much it costs to run for the year. I'm going to now show you some of the other bits I've done, which are the extra bits and pieces that are worth doing. In fact, before that, I want to show you the difference between a hard side and a soft side. Let me show you that. Right, let me go through this. So what we've got is, first of all, we've got the bed base, which is the framework underneath there. So here's the floor, here's your bed base, and that's like an egg box, what tradesmen might call an egg box construction. So this is just chipboard, 18mm chipboard, a frame that goes all the way around, some structure in the middle. And I've got that insulation I showed earlier, which I'll just put another picture up now of the insulation underneath. That insulation is going between here and here, and you'll see some flat areas where there's no insulation. They're just going over this bit here where the support is, so that I'm not trapping the bubble wrap in there in the base. So let me tell you why I go for a hard side mattress. The bed, this is the mattress here going round there like that, and yes, it squashes up a little bit more, much bit more than that, but you end up with these sort of corner bits here. But as you can see, there's a nice curve to it. It can be a tighter curve than that, but there's a nice curve to it. There's the liner, then there's the insulation, then there's the wood. The heater goes between the base and the liner. Right, I'm going to show you something in a bit about that area there in a bit, but let me just show you the soft side. Now the soft side has got some structure in there. It's got a hard base, it's got the same egg box underneath, it's got the same wooden base underneath, but it's got this bit of structure here, and this is foam. And my problem with this is, because it's a soft side and that squeezes down, you haven't got a nice radius here. And anybody who's had a soft side mattress leak will tell you it leaks there. That is too sharp a point to go round, and it's the weak spot. So that's why I don't have a soft side. Right, let's go and have a look on the bed now and show you what I do with that area. Wow, it's warm out here. Another thing I just want to say as well is, another thing I want to tell you is, we've still got our quilt on the bed. We've still got, in this extreme heat, which is today, it's meant to be 35 degrees. In this extreme heat, we've still got the quilt. And that's because the bed is turned down just lower, which just cools the body. So in this hot weather, everybody's struggling to sleep. It's making no difference to us. It's making no difference, the heat. We're having cool nights. We might throw the quilt off a bit, but then you find that you put it back on again. But yeah, I've turned it down 2 degrees in the last 2 weeks. And what will happen is, we'll just say to one another, "You're a bit cold in the night." "Yeah," and I'll just turn it up maybe a quarter of a degree. That's all I'll do. And that makes all the difference. But it basically means cooler at night, much cooler. So if you're not enjoying this warm weather, you could get a waterbed. It makes a lot of difference. Right, let's go and show you let's go and show you now what I do under the bed. Right, what I want to show you now is this. This is a cable tie saddle clamp, and what you do with those is you fix them onto something and then you put a cable tie through. Short screw, these are sort of 1/2 inch 6s, that goes into there, and instead of using cable ties I've used Velcro. Now you can buy these, they don't quite fit, I've had to trim a millimetre off the side of there, but putting Velcro under there means I can do this. So let's show you what I've been doing. Here's the side of the bed, and this is what I've been doing. Oh, sorry, it's a bit dark under here. Under here, can you see? You can see the insulation here, and you can see the Velcro. And these are the 2 wires. These wires are out that corner that I showed you. So they came out the corner. They come down here, they get to a clamp, to one of these saddle clamps, and I've put Velcro there. So this bottom cable is to the new heater, the top cable is the old heater. And as we work our way down here, here's the heater. And what's it on? It says it's on 28 degrees. And currently it's on. That's the red light, so it's currently on. And in a second that'll go off. And what I've got there is I've got the cable coiled round, comes across here, goes down there. I know it's very dark, sorry. And then I come to this. Under the bed I have an extension lead. I have 2 actually. One further down here, which has got things that shouldn't be switched off, which is the waterbed and bedside table, bedside lamp. So those are on that. This is a short extension lead which I can fix to the bed base because it's wood, and I can plug in mobile phone chargers and all sorts and charge things under my bed, and that is a better way of doing it. But yes, there's the heater, and if I want to, here are the clamps again. There you go, there's the saddles and the cable ties, but everything's nice and neat under the bed. And as I say, here's the insulation again, showing how well it's insulated. So here we are at the end of the video. Obviously I'm on the bed now and it's a lot more comfortable than at the start. If you know anyone who's thinking about having a waterbed, who's already got a waterbed, who might be changing their waterbed, who might be getting rid of it for one reason or another, it's worth sharing this video around because it helps everybody. It helps your purse, it helps safety, it helps the environment, it helps in the hot weather, it helps in the cold weather, it helps heat your home. It's, for me, it's when I get on with the house and get more things done and get rooms finished as the kids leave home, I will put a waterbed in each of the bedrooms, and that will be my heating for upstairs during the winter months. Because if this is £20, £25 a year to run, and I've got 3 of them up here, or 4 of them, then that's £100 a year to heat upstairs, and it keeps you cool as well. Don't forget, in turning it down, you're using it less but benefiting more, whereas if you get an air conditioning unit you use a lot of electricity. So right, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, subscribe, all the other bits and pieces, and as I say, if you can share this with anybody who knows, who has a waterbed or is thinking about getting one, it's worth watching. I wished I'd have seen a video like this 20 years ago. There you go, that's why I've done it. Thanks for watching.